everyone, and welcome to my 2021 middle grade TBR reaction video. So this time last year I uploaded a video called my 2021 middle grade TBR, which was essentially a video talking about the books that I wanted to read that were middle grade in 2021. And I thought today I'd react to it and see if I've read any of them. The thumbnail looks like that was a giant stack, and I don't think I've read half of them, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's get going. I have just set this up so it should work from now.
And that is The Twig Trilogy, which is a huge brick of a book. I owned it.
I haven't read this one, but I have good reason for it. I haven't read this one specifically because I'm trying to get through the Quint saga first, and I haven't finished that yet, admittedly. I've got one more book to go, and then I can read the Twig Trilogy. Admittedly, you can read it, like, without that, and because they're sort of more like companion novels, and it's just sort of, you can just pick up one without the other, but I wanted to read it, like, in order, so I wanted to read the Quint saga first, so I haven't read the Twig Trilogy, but at least I have an excuse for this one. Right, skipping to the next one.
Unread, so it's time I got to it. I then also got The Jumbies on this list by Tracy Baptiste. Now this one is inspired.
I haven't read this one either. It was on my October list. Didn't get to it in October. Had it on the November TBR, but November has been a month to the point where I literally only just finished my first full book yesterday. It's currently the 17th. That's how far behind I am in terms of reading, so yeah, I haven't read this one either, and I've got no excuse further than the fact that I just haven't yet. Right, next one.
Spooky season next year. I've also got The Mask of Arabella that I want to read next year because
Still haven't read that one either. To be fair, this one is about superheroes, and I have been reading a lot of superhero stuff. And by superhero stuff, I mean Marvel stuff. I've been reading a lot of Marvel stuff. Marvel have been releasing so much this year that it was kind of impossible to not read a ton of Marvel stuff. And therefore, I just kind of forgot about this book because I never really got a chance to miss Marvel or superheroes or anything because there's always been something. I think like the longest gap there's been between like films, TV shows, whatever, has been like 6 weeks. So I haven't really like needed that sort of superhero pick-me-up kind of thing. So yeah, that's a rubbish excuse, but that's the one I'm going for. I just have been doing too many superhero stuff at the moment, so I just forgot. That's what I'm going with, and I'm sticking with it.
Hero thing going also into my reading. I've then got Lockwood & Co. at the Screaming Stairs.
This one I have a legit excuse for not reading, and that excuse is that I'm waiting for the TV show to come out, because this is being adapted into a Netflix TV series. I know this, and I was expecting it to come out in 2021, as in this year, and it hasn't. So I'm waiting, because what I like to do is read books at the same time as the TV show comes out, because I like comparing. So yeah, again, I haven't read this one, but I have a legitimate excuse in my mind for having not read it.
I've also got Moonchild, The Voyage of the Lost and Found by Aisha Bushby.
Yeah, I haven't read this one either. If I'm completely honest, I forgot I owned it. So this is a good reminder that I own it. But I have no other excuse. None whatsoever. Then next one.
Tangle Wreck by Jeanette Winston.
Finally! I finished this one yesterday. I literally finished Tangle Wreck yesterday. It was not my favourite. I gave it 3 stars. I will go into it more in my wrap up, but essentially I did not like how this book ended. It left far too many things open, and the next one in the series is a companion novel where the main character in this one only turns up briefly. So I don't think it solves any of the issues I have. So yeah, but at least I've finally read it. It's been on my shelf for like 15 years now, and it's finally off the TBR.
Sequence by Suzanne Cooper. Now, this one has clearly
Alright, I need to skip forward a little bit more.
moved several times. I'm thinking 2021 may be the year. I've then got Aragon.
Wait a minute, I didn't actually talk about that one. my brain's all over the place. Dark is Rising. Did start it, DNF'd it. So this one was written in like the 50s, I think it was, and it was written very much like an Enid Blyton novel or something in my mind, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just not for me. It means I generally find things really difficult to understand, and I just sort of get distracted and very, very annoyed by the kids going like, oh, that boy was like absolutely beastly, and you're like, okay, speak normally. Like, I get it was sort of the time and of the setting and all the rest of it, but it just wasn't for me. It annoyed me, so I didn't read it. I DNF'd it instead. Eragon, I haven't read either. I haven't started it, haven't looked at it, sort of, well, I have looked at it. I've looked at it for Instagram photos and for tags. Haven't read it though. This is going really well because I haven't read any of these. And then the final one, I think that's the final one.
The movie, but I do actually remember reading some of this as a kid.
Yeah, that's the final one. That's an awful pause.
I must have read.
There we go. That was an awful pause. That looked like I was about to sneeze. Anyway, so the Nurse Matilda ones, which is where the Nanny McPhee movie originally came from. Yeah, I haven't read these ones either. I've looked at it several times. I just haven't read it yet, and I think this one is because I'm slightly scared to, because I'm worried about it ruining the magic of my childhood and like not enjoying it as much as I did. So yeah, I haven't read this one either. So that's a really, yeah, that was the last one. So that's a really damning thing, isn't it? I read one of those in full and DNF'd another, and then the rest of them I haven't even looked at. Great. That is not good. That is not good. Now, don't get me wrong, I've read a lot of middle grade this year. I just haven't read those ones. And now I don't know whether to do another one, like another 2020 or 2022 TBR or not. I don't really have that many that I'm really pulling towards, apart from things like Amari and the Night Brothers, but I'm hopefully going to get to that before the end of the year. I don't know. I'll see what TBR Assemble brings, and if I manage to squeeze it in somewhere this month. I am doubting it at the moment. There's a couple of ones from the library, like The School for Good and Evil and also Pages & Co. But I'm waiting for the TV show for The School of Good and Evil to come out before I read that one. And then obviously Pages & Co. just depends on when it's available. I also have things like Show Us Who You Are, which is a middle grade own voices, autistic, contemporary sci-fi thing. So I definitely want to read that one. I wouldn't mind maybe revisiting The Secret of Platform 13, but I'm not going to put anything solidly on the list, considering even in my reading journal I have a list of books that I really wanted to get to this year, and spoiler alert, I didn't. I did not get to most of them. I mean, as you can see by the lack of colouring in on my series tracking page, I just haven't read most of them. And then also it's the same with my TBR bit here. I have managed to read, admittedly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, I've read 9 of them, so that's not actually too bad, but I don't know. I may give up on a middle grade TBR, to be honest, and just try to sort of mood read it, I guess. I don't know. I'll see how next year goes. I'll have a think on this. I may add more to my priority list next year, but I'm not going to make a specific middle grade TBR because apparently that fails. And I'm going to leave this video here before I embarrass myself any further or call myself out anymore. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me what's on your middle grade TBR. I'd love to know. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a book emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, as well as to my Etsy store and my Redbubble store, which sells bookish goodies as well as bookish bullet journal spreads. So if you are interested, go check that out. And if you want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time, everyone, bye!